In a previous video, we looked at what it took to provision brand new databases with Nutanix Era. We also took a look at what was required to clone those databases and look at statistics, etc. Now, after viewing that video, you'd be well within your rights to ask, well, what about existing databases? What does it take to bring those into Nutanix Era and begin to benefit from some of the same capabilities? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you what that's like.
Registering an existing database with Nutanix Era. Very simple to do. Our existing database, Microsoft SQL Server, created a new database called Era Demo Video. Here's a script that I used to do that. So we'll go back over to Era. We will go to our databases view. I'm going to go to sources, then click register. I'm going to choose SQL Server, and I want to register a database. I have the option of looking at servers that are already registered or those that are not registered, and we're going to choose the not registered option as this is a new database server. Go ahead and pick the database server from the list of powered on VMs in the cluster. And here is the database server I want. I'll follow that up by an optional description and then the Windows administrator name. In my case, for this demo, it's just administrator and the password for the administrator account on the Windows machine. At which point, Era will discover the running SQL Server instances on the machine, and in this case there's only one. And we're going to connect using Windows authentication, and this will be our username. So integrated authentication as far as SQL Server is concerned. We'll go next. Era will now discover the databases on the selected instance. And in my case, this is the only one that is a candidate for registration, as it does not live on the C drive. That's an important point. The databases with which Era can work need to be not on the operating system volume. In the case of Windows and Microsoft SQL Server. So we'll go ahead and select my database. The default name for representation in Era is fine with me. We'll click next. And in a moment, we can define the time machine or the automatic backup for this database. Got our default name for the time machine. That's fine with me. The SLA, we have a number of options here. I'm going to go ahead and choose a silver SLA. Our snapshot time, the number of snapshots we want per day. I'll go ahead and set that at 6. Log catch up every 30 minutes. Weekly snapshot on Thursday, etc. As noted in previous videos, everything that I do here has an API equivalent that we can use to plug into various tools, either custom made or off the shelf, ServiceNow, etc., etc. Go ahead and close this, and then I will click register. All right, the registration task is currently underway. We can check on the details by going to operations, and we see that that's been running for about 4 seconds and is progressing as we would expect. You can see that we've had a number of previous activities here in our operations list, and we can click on the radio button for each of these to check their status. Most everything here has completed successfully in relatively short order. and we'll let this run. So what you've seen in this short video is what it takes to register an existing database with Nutanix Era. And in this example, we use Microsoft SQL Server as our source database, but this process applies to any of the database engines supported by the product. Have a look at our dashboard, a single view for the health of our database estate, number of sources, number of clones, data usage, disposition, space consumption, how many clones we have, operations in the last 5 days. At a glance, assessment of the health of our database estate. Moving down to the databases dashboard, we can assess the number of engines that we're using, how many source DBs by engine, how many clones, the amount of savings we are experiencing, again, by engine. So a lot of useful data in a really easy to use operator experience. Hope you enjoyed.
So what do you think? Pretty slick, right? Now we've got this environment where we can configure or provision new databases, clone them, take existing databases across a multitude of different database engines, bring them into the same management experience, and benefit from all the goodness that Era has to offer. Super simple, information at your fingertips, fast, efficient, cost-effective. Buying back some of that people time that your IT personnel are currently spending managing and caring for databases in your database complex. For more information, take a look at nutanix.com/era. Reach out to your account teams to expand the dialogue.